Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2022-2023, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 76 years of independence, India's G20 presidency, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today is commemorated as Accession Day, observed every year on October 26. The day marks the anniversary of Maharaja Hari Singh signing the instrument of accession with Government of India. The signing of this document cemented Jammu and Kashmir as a member of the Dominion of India. It was first announced as a public holiday in 2020. The people in Jammu and Kashmir, whose nationalist sentiments favor India, celebrates the day by lighting fireworks, singing the Indian national anthem, and hoisting the Indian flag. Those in Jammu and Kashmir who have separatist aspirations observed earlier as a Black Day, mourning the loss of Kashmir's independence. But in fact, Kashmir was long back, integral part of India. Jammu and Kashmir has a long, rich history. The area have been inhabited by humans since Neolithic period in 3000 BC. Since then, the people of Jammu and Kashmir has lived under the rule of many monarchs, the Uttarakurus, the Maurya Empire, the Karkota Empire, the Mughals and the Sikhs, among others, who were part of Greater India, ancient India empires. The princely state of Jammu and Kashmir was torn apart when British India was partitioned to form the modern nations of India and Pakistan. When the Pakistani forces launched a guerrilla attack on Kashmir in 1947, Hari Singh, the reigning monarch of the Kashmir at that time, turned to Mountbatten and India. He asked to sign the instrument of accession, a document declaring the princely state as part of Dominion of India. After the first Indo-Pakistan War drew to an end, the United Nations was called for mediation. The UN suggestion to hold a referendum to discern the aspirations of the Kashmiri people was refused by India, as Jammu and Kashmir was already integral part of India, and Jammu and Kashmir thus became part of Union of India. The state was accorded special status by Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. The article, though, was repealed in 2019, and the state of Jammu and Kashmir was split into two union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh in 2020. Accession Day was made a commemoration. The people in Jammu and Kashmir, whose national sentiments favor India, celebrate the day by lighting fireworks, singing the Indian national anthem, and hoisting the Indian flag. We can see Neolithic sites are first inhabited in the Kashmiri Valley, and settlements in Kashmir Valley around and before 3000 BC. India gains independence from the British on August 15, 1947, and Maharaja Hari Singh signs the instrument of accession in 1947. Accession Day is made a public holiday in 2020. So there are some interesting facts that Kashmir was sold to Gulab Singh during British rule. The British sold Kashmir to Gulab Singh for 7.5 million Nanakshi rupees. So the last king of Kashmir was Maharaja Hari Singh. Jammu and Kashmir has a long, complex political history. So use this day to educate yourself about it. The tense Indo-Pakistan relations are largely a result of colonialism. So try to understand the varying effects colonialism has had on erstwhile colonies. There exists a variety of political and nationalist aspirations in the people of Kashmir. And there are interesting facts. The Pir Panjal railway tunnel is India's longest railway tunnel. Srinagar serves as the summer capital and Jammu serves as a winter capital, having two capitals for the state. Now, two union territories. The coldest inhabited place is the Dras in India and is the second coldest in the world. The state bird of Jammu and Kashmir was a black-necked crane. Kashmir is the third largest saffron producer in the world. So Accession Day highlights the history of how Jammu and Kashmir became part of Indian Union after independence, considering that India is the largest democracy in the world. It is an important piece of history to know. Jammu and Kashmir has sparked nationalist aspirations in many people in many different ways. It is an opportunity to learn how the impacts of functioning of the state. It is a concept of special statehood is fairly unique and intrinsically linked to the Union Territory's history. So use the day as an opportunity to understand the idea. Today, this week is commemorated as Digital Parenting Week in UK, which alternates between the 2nd and 4th week of October, and this year it takes place from 26 to 30 October. So the week has been set apart to appreciate parents for their special and important roles in their children upbringing. The internet has made parenting much more complex for guardians. Therefore, this event seeks to encourage parenting through resources that aid the digital well-being of children with rapid advancements to information and technology. There is a need for parents to monitor, moderate, and guide children on the use of the internet. Digital Parenting Week started back in 2020. It was founded by the Parent Zone to appreciate efforts exerted by parents to raise children, especially within the confines of the internet, which has rendered parenting a truly complex endeavor. The exact week for its observation, however, is unclear. It was observed in the fourth week of October in 2020 and the second week of October in 2021. In 2020, tens of schools around the UK partnered with Parent Zone to sponsor the week. To further assist both parents and children in achieving the aim of the week, Parent Zone launched only an application that guides parents and children on the use of the internet for life purposes. In the inaugural observation of the week, Oli is a child-friendly application that advises users on a couple of things children need to thrive in this modern world. The 2021 edition of the week had the theme well-being, which is a perfect theme to represent that Parent Zone strives for. Parenting becomes an English word. In 1959, the University of Illinois creates an internet program for students to have access to study materials and listen to audio lecturers in 1960. The earliest use of the internet was mainly used to connect academics and military networks in 1970s. So Parent Zone releases the OLE app in 2020. Parenting in the digital age has become challenging experience. This is because the effect of internet on children nullifies whatever upbringing a parent gives to a child. Digital parenting helps to equip a child with the basic knowledge required to navigate through the information age we live in. When they are old enough, the best way is to start with technology products made for children. Discuss the pros and cons of the digital world with your child. Let the child understand the importance of choosing the appropriate content to watch safely navigate through the internet. Even if you are skeptical about the initiative, today is a good day to challenge your skepticism and start by giving it a try. You are then free to disregard if you don't like it. So download Oli to your smartphone and your child's too. That's no time like the present. The formative years are crucial. The parent care and the advice, for lack thereof, that a child gets in the first 3 months shape the child's future. Babies whose parents talk to them often know 300 words or more at the stage of the two talking to babies. The playway learning, playing is the most effective means of learning for children at a very young age. Children who are allowed to watch television for over 3 hours a day are most likely to be affected by traumatic events by the age of 7. Kids mimic whatever they see their parents doing. Parents cannot shy away from the impact of the internet or younger generation anymore. Digital parenting allows them to follow the trend while still ensuring that important norms, values are still instilled in the child. Digital parenting offers parents with opportunity to discuss and guide children about internet risks. This includes pornographic content, scams, identity fraud, malware, and viruses. Protecting and monitoring for protecting family, monitoring the activities of children on the internet, the pictures, comments, and whatever they post, and correcting them where necessary is indispensable. It is only way to protect children from any dangers. Today is also commemorated as National Financial Crime Fighter Day in US. The objective of the day is to celebrate anti-money laundering, AML professionals, and good work they do to the financial institutions of the United States. The first ever National Financial Crime Fighter Day was held in 2017. It was organized by Abrigo, a risking management and growth driving technological platform used by financial institutions in Americas to honor AML professionals and acknowledge the extremely important work they do. As per Bob Kim, Vice President of the Client and Partner Solutions at Abrigo, we are proud to continue to push for more awareness and recognition. As per Bob Kim, Vice President of the Client and Partner Solutions at Abrigo, we are proud to continue to push for more awareness and recognition of these unsung superheroes. In the same vein, the Bank Secretary Act (BSA) was also passed to contribute, control financial crimes. A rise in drug trade in 1960s and 1970s led to a large influx of illegal money supply into the US financial system. In, in retaliation of the inflow, the US Congress passed the Bank Secrecy Act in 1970 to curtail money laundering and financial crimes. This resolve was further strengthened after the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. The resulting USA Patriotic Act 2000 So this resolve was further strengthened after the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. The resulting USA Patriot Act 2001, signed on October 26, 2001, cemented the importance of BSA AML professionals in the US financial system. So they have these BSA AML professionals have been working for over a century now to prevent money laundering, and other financial crimes in the country. As per Bob King, Vice President of Client and Partner Solutions at Abrigo, BSA and AML professionals work tirelessly to protect our financial system from He also added, we are happy to help shine the national light on the unrelenting dedication to their occupation with National Financial Crime Fighter Day. This reverence of BSA AML professionals is displayed especially on National Financial Crime Fighter Day every year on the anniversary of the USA Patriot Act. An AML investigator monitors, investigates suspicious financial activity. Good AML analysts are thorough, organized, and able to multitask. The ACAMS, Association of Certified Anti-Money Laundering Specialists exam is reasonably easy if you are properly prepared. The Bank Secrecy Act is the first document to underline the importance of AML professionals. So learn more about it. The point of Financial Crime Fighter Day is to celebrate BSA AML professionals. So learn about their job actually entails. The currency of the US is US dollar. There are 5,033 banks in United States. Banks in the United States have over 2.07 million employees in total. On average, an American had US dollars 65,900 in their savings account in 2000. On an average, an American had US dollars 65,900 in their savings in 2020. The average American has more debt than savings. The core objective of the National Financial Crime Fighter Day is to highlight how important BSA/AML professionals are to the American financial system. We think that's plenty reason to celebrate both the 1960s during drug trade and 9/11 have greatly impacted the zeitgeist of the United Nations and United States National Financial Crime Fight Day highlights legislative changes that these two phenomena cause. Many people know little about MSA/AML professionals. So National Financial Crime Fighter Day is a perfect day to begin appreciating them. Today is also commemorated as National Day of the Deployed in US. And this is a day to say thank you to all the military serving outside in the US and their families who keep things running at home in their absence. It's hard to imagine a more challenging military assignment that in 2011, Hoven, then a US Senator, sponsored a resolution designating October 26th as National Day of the Deployed, which passed unanimously. Since then, all 50 states have officially observed the holiday. Deployments can last anywhere between 90 days to 15 months. Having a loved one actively serving a deployment brings numerous challenges. Extended periods of time away from home, not knowing where your loved one or There are many ways families can keep in touch with loved ones on deployment, including phone, video phone, email, and other online methods such as Facebook, military networks, and snail mail. For safety purposes, families may not always know where the family members are. There are estimated 40,000 active servicemen and women on classified assignments today. Over the one-third of the active duty servicemen and women have children. There are over 9,80,000. So help the families of our deployed military, send a care package, display a yellow ribbon. Yellow ribbons are sign you are remembering someone serving far away from home and looking forward for their safe return. Tie one around a tree or mailbox or display on your front porch. So as of the end of 2018, our active duty service members totaled over 1.3 million with 36% serving in the Army, 25% Navy, 25% Air Force. Women make up 16.5% of our active duty military. By the end of 2018, our active service members totaled over 1.3 million, with 36% serving in the Army, 25% Navy, 25% Air Forces, and 14% Marine Corps. Slightly over half, 51.5%, are married, with 6.7% in dual military marriages. So today you can encourage someone actively fighting for the freedom. There's no time like the present to say thank you, and the holiday sparks out our opportunity to do just that. Americans love to come together to support those in need, and we too often forget about the families of whom we are serving in the military far-off locations. So Americans love to come together to support those in need. We too often forget about the families of those serving in the military in far-off locations. So National Day of the Deployed remains by use of special people and the need for us to surmount them with love and support in the middle of an active duty deployment. So when you read about and consider what's our deployment and Today is also commemorated as Australian National Day. It has been almost more than 56 years since the day was declared as official holiday. Austria adopted the federal constitutional law on neutrality of Austria. This day, Austria stated its neutrality and decided that it will not be involved in any military alliance and won't allow any military bases to be established in its territory. This day also celebrated the Day of Austrian Flag and declares the re-establishment of Austria's sovereignty after World War II. This decision for neutrality became part of the regional consciousness of the Austrians. Austrian National Day has been celebrated since 1955, commemorating the day Austria signed a declaration of neutrality. This decision was announced by Parliament of Austria to declare Austria as neutral. This declaration was adopted as a constitutional act of Parliament. The declaration was a result of the joint occupation of Austria by France and the United Kingdom, the United States, and the Soviet Union during 1945 and 1955. It is known that if Austria had not declared its neutrality following the withdrawal of the Allied forces from the country, the Soviet Union would not have signed the Austrian State Treaty in May 1955. So on October 25th, 1955, the remaining foreign troops left Austria. The element of neutrality has become ingrained in the identity of Austrians since 1955. It is an essential part of Austrian constitution and international law. Since Austria is a member of European Union, there had been some debate whether Austria would remain neutral or whether it would change its neutral status. Today is also commemorated as Worldwide Howl at the Moon Night, which is Halloween week. It does add to some of the out-of-the-world activities for this week. Although it sounds as if it is focused on Halloween, Worldwide Howl at the Moon Night is not just about having full of unnerving goose flesh. It is also associated with animal welfare, specifically that of the wolf, the non-domesticated defender of the wild. It creates awareness about the groups that work with self-conservation, but it is also about the groups of people howling at the moon, with even cities in US creating fun events where people belt it out to the full moon. Worldwide Howl at the Moon Night is a tribute to animals that apparently howl at the moon. With the previous statement, what immediately comes to mind is a wolf. Some peg wolves as pests and wild dangerous beasts. They are actually highly intelligent, integrated creatures with evidence of existence that dates back to as far as 1.5 million years ago. There is nothing more epic than the picture of a wolf tilting its head towards the moon, howling, and we are sure somewhere, somehow you have seen this image. The name of the holiday itself originated from the notion that the wolf is howling to the moon, and although it is actually communicating with other wolves. So this is a 26-year-old author and animator, Johnny D. Palma, who founded this bizarre day on April 26, 2009. He first called it the planet-wide moon howl event. From then on, the day is observed annually every year on October 26th. It is also identified as a Howl at the Moon Day. So it is a day wherein people literally howl at the moon to mark the occasion. It is also the day when people are educated and made aware that conservationists are working in wolf conservation organizations like Wolf Haven. Such as organization is a safe haven and sanctuary for captive, born, injured, and displaced wolves. Today is also commemorated as National Vives Microneedling Day in US. And it is commemorated every year to inform the public about the use of Vives experience device to carry out the microneedling procedure of skin care. It is a day that aims to give the public all the necessary information required to keep them informed about the effectiveness of the microneedling procedure, as well as to dismiss any other myths surrounding the process. Did you know that carefully piercing the skin and allowing it to heal on its own can help to make you look younger? Well, that's the microneedling is all about. Vives, a subsidiary of Aesthetic Biomedicals and a film that manufactures the microneedling machine, established National Vives Microneedling Day in 2020 to honor the Vives Experience microneedling machine, which is widely utilized for the microneedling method. This is in response to the growing popularity of using the machine to deliver the microneedling skincare procedure. The microneedling technique is a skincare procedure that includes piercing the skin at the cellular level with several sterile needles and allowing the small pores formed to heal on their own. The goal of this procedure is to encourage wounded cells to recover to their natural state, resulting in a youthful and radiant appearance. Microneedling is a piercing method that originated in Chinese acupuncture around 100 BC. Furthermore, Egyptians utilized plant leaves and oil on their bodies over 6,000 years ago to acquire a youthful and beautiful complexion. Skincare, on the other hand, did not become popular until the 18th and 19th centuries. These centuries and the successive ones saw the explosion in the production of skincare products for use by women. Microneedling began to take shape. It has now, in the 20th century, in 1905, dermatologist Ernest Cormeyer conducted a similar method to treat scars and birthmarks. Albeit it was not regarded as microneedling began to take on more correct shape 90 years later, as it is today called between 1995 and the 21st century. Dermatologists and plastic surgeons worked on this. Today is also commemorated as National Transgender Children's Day in US. Is a day to honor and acknowledge all transgender children who have long been hiding in the closet and cannot, for whatever reason, come out. It is a day to open your arms and welcome these children and let them feel included in the family and community. Transgender children are less likely to announce their gender status as compared to transgender adults. This is because their survival is mainly dependent on their parents' reactions to their declaration. Hence, parents should strive to be more understanding to them from the day onward. So, National Transgender Children Day was established by Jill Rubin Hall in 2019. If there was search for a day to show support and accepting parents to their queer children, then National Transgender Children Day would be a conclusive answer. A mother desires for trans children's inclusion in the society sparked this day. Owl is a parent of transgender child. She discovered that not all children in the world identify as sons or daughters, and that many more do not conform to the gender binary or are transferring, noticing a day dedicated to celebrating sons and another for daughters. And so she decided to create a day to honor transgender children. And National Transgender Children's Day was born. All's drive to create for the transgender children was so strong that when she was told it would cost $1,000 to do so, she immediately started a GoFundMe campaign and is fortunately for her, help responded for all National Transgender Children Day is simply a day to honor our gender expensive children of all ages so that they too are included. She also revealed that the day's date, October 26, was chosen because it was her trans kid's birthday. Contrary to the popular belief, which holds that trans children have only recently emerged, historian Julian Gill Peterson's 2018 book, History of the Transgender Child, made us aware that trans children have existed since the turn of the 20th century and have actively sought out medical care as well as inclusion in the society. Today is also commemorated as National Tennis Day in US. National Tennis Day is on October 26th. It is also known as a volunteer state. Tennessee volunteered many times to fight for America. In the 1812 Battle of the New Orleans, Tennessee participated in overwhelming numbers. And again, during the 1846 Mexican-American War, when the Secretary of the War asked for 2,800 soldiers from the state, Tennessee offered 30,000. So Tennessee is also the home of country music, rolling hills, and others. So Tennessee has a turbulent history. It is believed that the first settlers were of Asian descent, and they crossed the Bering Strait land bridge about 20,000 years ago. Spanish explorers came in 1540 in search of gold, and the English moved in the 17th century. The major indigenous groups during this time were the Chickasaws and Cherokee. The name Tennessee came from the Cherokee village, Tennessee. Tennessee played a prominent role as volunteers during the Greek War under the leadership of Andrew Jackson from 1813 to 1814 at the Battle of Horseshoe Bend in Alabama. The volunteers responded to the attack of Greek warriors on Fort Mims, Alabama, leading to the destruction of many Muscogee towns. The Cherokee of East Tennessee, despite their efforts to assimilate into the dominant culture, were driven out of the land by the US government from 1838 to 1839. So with other native populations of America, they were routed via the Trail of Tears to Oklahoma. However, during the American Civil War in 1861, Tennessee was initially faithful to the Union, but later voted for secession and joined the new Confederate States of America. The Union Army won most of their encounters in Tennessee and had occupied most of the land by 1864. So Tennessee became a major site of racial segregation protests after the Nashville 1959 to 1961 sit-ins for the civil rights movements and 1968 Memphis sanitation workers strike. Martin Luther King Jr. was in Memphis to support the sanitation workers when he was assassinated on April 4. Today is also commemorated as National Pumpkin Day in US. Pumpkins are so much more than just a fun holiday accessory. Not only they are one of the best sources of beta-carotene, an antioxidant converted to vitamin A in the body, but pumpkins are loaded with fiber, potassium, and vitamin C. Pumpkins are member of the gourd family. which includes cucumbers, honeydew melons, cantaloupe, watermelons, and zucchini. Most people don't realize they are fruits, not vegetables. These plants are natives to Central America and Mexico, but now grow on 6 continents. Their history in North America goes back to 5,000 years. Pumpkins are indigenous to the Western Hemisphere, as Frenchman Jacques Cartier explored at St. Lawrence region of North America in 1500s. He reported the finding that the French called gross melons, the name translated into English as pompions, which has since evolved into modern pumpkin. So we use pumpkins for both food and recreation, especially during Halloween and Thanksgiving. Pumpkin pie has become a traditional part of Thanksgiving in both US and Canada. We also carve jack-o'-lanterns around Halloween. Although the pumpkins we eat and the ones we carve generally come from two different types of winter squash, a, a gourd is generally considered inedible squash. Remember, gourds get funny faces, squash wind up on the dinner table. So a Halloween connection dates back to 1800s. The term jack-o'-lantern first appeared in 1837, while the idea of a carved pumpkin specially originated in 1866. Farmers generally plant pumpkins in early July. The fruit requires soil that holds water well. Crops suffer if there are either a lack of water or unusually chilly temperatures. Still, pumpkins are rather durable, can regrow damaged vines if necessary. Even pumpkin seeds are a popular snack. Grocery stores often sell them both hulled and semi-hulled. They are a good source of protein, magnesium, copper, and zinc. Today is also commemorated as National Mule Day in US. Is a day meant to celebrate mules. The day originated in Columbia, Tennessee, the self-determined mule capital of the world. Mule Day can be dated back to 1840. The day was originally referred to as Breeders' Day. Since then, celebrations have spread the Columbia, Tennessee to global locations. The modern National Mule Day began to shape into what we know today back in 1930s, when a parade and other celebratory events were added to the agenda. The mule happens to be the most common and earliest man-made hybrid animal. The mule, instead of being an originally wild animal that was domesticated by humans, was invented by humans. It is an offspring of a male donkey and a female horse. Donkeys and horses, it is important to note, are two entirely different species with different numbers of chromosomes. Its invention likely took place in the ancient ages. In modern day Turkey, mules were fairly common in surrounding regions. They were frequently used in Egypt by 3000 BC to carry cargo. Egyptian common people also rode on mules as a form of transport. The mule probably arrived in Asia Minor in 800 BC. In ancient Rome, mules were used for both transporting humans and cargo. Their strength and endurance were well known by everyone, so much so that when General Morris trained his soldiers to carry enormous loads of ammunition, they were called Morris mules. So Christopher Columbus brought mules to America when he set out to discover an alternate route to India and landed up in the Americas to colonize them. Interestingly, George Washington, the first American president, was called the father of American mule because he produced over 50 mules at his home. Washington considered the mule important because they were docile and easy to maintain. This week is also commemorated as, this month is commemorated as Emotional Wellness Month in US. Emotional well-being has been powerful effects on overall health. Mental and emotional stress can translate into negative physical reactions, a weakened immune system, and poor health. Emotional wellness refers to our ability to process feelings in a healthy, positive way and manage stress of everyday life. If you feel stressed or overwhelmed, try a soothing activity like meditation or yoga to slow down and clear your mind. Use Emotional Wellness Month as an opportunity to take charge of your emotional wellness. Find the soothing activities that would work for you, and most of all, breathe. With our hectic schedules, devices pinging us from every direction, and modern life becoming incredibly uncertain, it is more crucial than ever to maintain a sense of calm and balance. Emotional Wellness Month, observed all October, reminds us to disconnect and take a time for our brain. Maintaining a healthy emotional balance helps us make healthy choices, have good relationships, and achieve our goals. Emotional wellness gives us a toolkit for handling life stresses, navigating relationships, and keeping ourselves motivated. Mindfulness, a simple but powerful concept inspiring by Eastern Mediterranean traditions, is a useful way to practice engaging in the present, accepting events and feelings without judgment, and moving through the life calm and ease. Good sleep and a healthy diet can have powerful effects on your emotions. If you are feeling depressed or anxious, make sure you are getting proper rest and eating nutritious food. Consider your relationship to yourself and your loved ones. Do you feel confident and optimistic about your future? Do you have good communication with those you care about? Are you able to express your feelings and process difficult times in a healthy way? High levels of stress can lead to physical complications like high blood pressure, headaches, and even chronic conditions like diabetes. If you are having a hard time enjoying life or experiencing physical symptoms of high stress, talk to your doctor or a therapist who can guide you towards activities and treatment options that can help you feel like yourself again. This month is also commemorated as Eye Injury Prevention Month, observed throughout October. This annual awareness month aims to spread information about common eye injuries and how to prevent them. Eye Injury Prevention Month is observed worldwide since eye injuries are easily preventable. This month is observed to educate people on many different ways they can sustain injuries to their eyes and how to avoid them. The eye is a delicate organ and any damage can be devastating. Most injuries are accidents that can be prevented by taking adequate precautions. Eye Injury Prevention Month is observed and raises awareness about eye injuries, their common causes, and how to prevent them. The majority of eye injuries are accidental, are usually caused by foreign objects getting lodged into the eyes or in the eyes. Flying metal particles, sand, glass, stone, gravel, boiling water, or oil, and hazardous chemicals in liquid or gas form are some types of particles that could enter the eye and cause an injury. This type of injury is also one of the most easily preventable eye injuries, as you can protect the eyes from foreign bodies quite easily. People working in hazardous conditions or industries where flying debris is expected should be provided with protective eye goggles to ensure that foreign objects do not enter their eyes. Another common eye injury is caused by blunt force trauma. This type of injury is usually caused when something heavy and blunt hits the eye with some force. Many sports related injuries fall under this category as people take a ball to the face or get hit by a flying shuttle in the eye. Wrestlers and martial art practitioners are also at risk of getting hit in the face by accident or while sparring, so resulting in trauma to the eye. Children playing with BB guns and other projectiles are also at risk of eye injuries. One of the simplest ways to prevent most eye injuries is to wear protective glasses or goggles when working with hazardous materials or projectiles. Sports people should have protective headgear, and children should be supervised when playing to ensure that no one gets hurt. According to the experts, about 90% of the eye injuries can be prevented using eye protection. Orbital fractures and retinal detachments are common among baseball players due to getting hit in the face by a ball. While professional athletes usually wear eye protection, recreational athletes tend to avoid wearing any. In the medieval ages, soldiers who had lost an eye were believed to be braver and more attractive. Despite being a small part of the body, eyes are often injured more than any other body parts. People don't wear eye protection because they don't know how easily they can injure their eyes. This month, share accurate information so that people can know that eye injuries are very common and preventable. And also, it encourages being good role models. Children and even other adults will also be careful if they see adults being careful. We should encourage sports people and other adults to wear eye protection and be good role models to those around them during this month. This month is also commemorated as Fair Trade Month in US. Is about supporting business that are fair trade certified. Fair trade businesses seek to create a more international trade system through increased respect and transparency. This puts an emphasis on the trade fairly with business from developing countries. During this month, Americans are encouraged to find fair trade through stores in their own communities or by purchasing through fair trade partners online. You can also become a member online if you are a business owner. This membership comes with benefits like business community, annual conference, and other leadership opportunities. The actual definition of fair trade is confusing to many. Share resources from the Fair Trade Federation to help others learn. This month is also commemorated as Family History Month in US. Is a terrific opportunity to enhance your genealogy ability. Learn about new resources and meet people who have shared your interest in the past. Explore local library and genealogical society to find out what events are taking place in your area. If you don't have time to attend a Family History Month event, there are plenty of ways to commemorate the holiday by working on your family history at home. Since the dawn of time, family histories have been significant and their significance has only increased in recent years. The family histories of individuals tell them who they are, where they are originated from, and which notable relatives they may have descended from. The accolades and the shame of everyone who had come before them were believed to be imbued in the bloodlines of many different types of people in the past who held family history in high regard. The importance of one's family history was so great throughout the Middle Ages that the entire books detailing every nobleman's pedigree across the various nations were published. In the field of genealogy, the science of researching one's family history is known as genealogical research, and it has become increasingly important in recent years for reasons other than simply tracking down one's lineage. Many illnesses are hereditary, which means that they are passed down from one generation to the next. through mother or father. Physicians can watch out for these illnesses during routine health checkups, and they may be able to prevent progression as you age as a result of tracking your family history. After all, who would have guessed that Family History Month is a month about where an individual came from as it is about where they might be going? Because of the most recent technological advancements, it is now feasible to assure that people and their progeny will have longer and healthier lives. This month is also commemorated as Financial Planning Month in US. With the holiday season coming up, hefty gifting expenses and the new year just around the corner, Financial Planning Month is a great opportunity to get your finances and budgets in order before life gets too busy. Financial planning as a concept has been around for a long time, but not as we know it today. When Lauren Dunton set up the Society for Financial Counseling Ethics in 1969, or when the first graduating class of the College of Financial Planning graduated in 1973, financial planning was very difficult. It was centered around selling limited partnerships, which came to an end with the Tax Reforms Act of 1986. However, financial planning re-emerged, all thanks to Richard Avertill. The certified financial planner gave new meaning to the financial planning, this time with a focus on who the client is and what their needs are. This approach was purely methodological in nature. Soon after, the financial planning picked up again. According to the Certified Financial Planner, CFP Board of Standards in Denver, today there are more than 94,000 CFPs worldwide, including over 48,000 in the US. Additionally, there are also organizations that have been set up for CFPs, such as Financial Planning Association, FPA, which has approximately 22,000 members. So, financial planning, as we know it now, includes investing, tax planning, retirement planning, and basic other ways to get your finances in order and create mindful budgets to ensure a safe and secure future. Getting a step ahead of your spendings and finances is beneficial in the long run, and Financial Planning Month is a perfect time to do that. This month is also commemorated as German American Heritage Month in US. To show your gratitude to those who gave America these can't miss traditions. Christmas trees, Easter bunnies, and Santa, some of these things are invaluable. So in October 1683, German families began settling in Pennsylvania. Since then, German Americans have contributed greatly to society. As well as already mentioned, Easter Bunny and Santa, the Germans have had a huge influence in car manufacturing, the building of churches, the arts, and even the languages. Love a good hamburger that came from the Hamburg in Germany. Hugely historical entrepreneurs such as Heinz, Chrysler, Boeing, and Rockefeller all have German American heritage. The first proclamation of German American Heritage Month was issued by Ronald Reagan in October 1987, and since then we are celebrating every year. This month is also commemorated as Global Diversity Awareness Month and pay tribute to the diverse minds and beliefs held by all cultures around the world. We live in a multicultural society, and embracing the values of various cultures only strengthens our understanding and appreciation of the world. Open your mind to the new views and ideas, appreciate cultural differences, and enjoy a fresh perspective you may have been missing. It helps you to become a true citizen of the world. Also, remember how being a student made you friends with people from around the world who you wouldn't have been known otherwise. After the Second World War, that Universal Declaration of Human Rights was adopted by United Nations General Assembly at the Palais de Charlotte in Paris. The declaration represents the first global expression of rights to which all human beings are inherently entitled. It is essentially known as acknowledgement that we should remember and understand the value of each human being, regardless of their nationality, color, race, sex, gender, country of origin, language, or otherwise. As the world becomes more and more connected and globalized, it is important to remember that a global monoculture or a homogenization of culture kills off traditional cultures and unique traits of people. Embracing cultural diversity in all aspects of life is an answer to avoiding a global monoculture. The phrase cultural diversity can also refer to having different cultures respect each other's differences. Although its origins are difficult to trace, Global Diversity Awareness Month represents perfect opportunity for you to learn more about the new culture and explore some of the diversity that makes the world such a wonderful place. This month is also commemorated as Go Sober for October. Is a campaign run by Macmillan Cancer Support that encourages people to quit alcohol for a month and raise funds for the people battling cancer. You can go sober for 14, 21, or 31 days, depending on what you are comfortable with. By observing this month, not only you are doing something great for the cancer fighters, but you are also taking a step towards improving your health. The Society for the Prevention and Relief of Cancer, which later came to be known as Macmillan Cancer Support, was founded by Douglas Macmillan in 1911 after he lost his father to cancer. In the early 1900s, cancer was still a medical mystery, and there were many superstitions around it. Treatment was limited. After his father passed away, Douglas made his life mission to improve the standards of medical care that cancer patients receive. After Macmillan died in 1960, the establishment continued his legacy and provided health care and support to the cancer patients across the UK. In 1970s, the Macmillan nurses rose to prominence. In the 1980s, Macmillan Cancer Relief, as it was known, then raised a fund of euro 10 million for the first time in 1996. Macmillan Cancer Relief was renamed Macmillan Cancer Support, and in 1999, it successfully convinced the Oxford English Dictionary to change its incorrect definition of cancer. So in 2012, an innovative approach towards cancer treatment was initiated, and the University College Hospital Macmillan Cancer Center was opened. Today, Macmillan Cancer Support is one of the largest charities in Britain, and it provided health care and financial support to the people affected by cancer. The idea of getting sober in October is said to have emerged when Australian organization Life Education originated a fundraiser named October in 2010. But it caught the attention of the general public when comedian and UFC commentator Joe Rogan announced in this podcast the Joe Rogan experience that he was going to take up the challenge Since then, many celebrities have taken up the Go Sober for October challenge and inspired others to do the same. This month is also commemorated as Halloween Safety Month, as we are going to arm with safety tips and instructions so that you can have a spooky Halloween in the safest way possible. Halloween is a time for creature costumes, trick or treating, soul cakes, and jack-o'-lanterns. Unfortunately, it's a time when accidents happen, and therefore, it is vital that we understand do's and don'ts while celebrating Halloween. It is said that Halloween originated from Samhain festival observed in the Celts 2000 years ago. The Celts believed that on this day, the ghosts of the dead returned to earth. To observe this day, they held large bonfires and made costumes made out of animal heads and skin. In the 9th century, Christianity has spread in the Celtic region, and the churches declared November 2 as All Souls' Day. It was a day in remembrance of all the saints and martyrs. It is said to be that the name Halloween was derived from the term All Hallows, Hallows referring to the saints. So in the Middle Ages, people started going to house and reciting verses in exchange for food. It is said that this could have been the beginning of the trick or treating. Some families cooked food for the ghost for their deceased relatives. By the 19th century, Halloween costumes started becoming popular. People dressed up as vampires, witches, devils, and ghosts. Trick or treat became immensely popular among kids. It was also the time when Halloween games like apple bobbing and fortune telling named Cuisine emerged. The modern day costumes of Halloween are greatly inspired by the works of fiction like Frankenstein, Dracula, Beetlejuice, Annabella, and other spooky films and books. It was the National Safety Council that spread awareness about Halloween safety and encouraged people to observe Halloween Safety Month in October. Observing this month has greatly helped in reducing accidents that occur during Halloween, as people are more aware of the risks associated with not following safety guidelines while celebrating Halloween. This month is also commemorated as Head Start Awareness Month in US. To spread awareness about a crucial program that benefits millions of families in the US, Head Start assists children belonging to low-income families by providing them with a framework meeting their social, emotional, psychological, nutritional, and health needs. Children are given a boost until the age of 5, easing the pressure on their families. The Head Start program was announced in 1965 by President Lyndon B. Johnson as a complete framework for providing the required health, educational, and nutritional needs of the children from low-income families to pave better opportunities for them. Since its inception, the program has served over 35 million children. It has given them access to learning tools, healthcare, and more, as well as supporting their families. Head Start and Early Head Start are federally funded initiatives that are critically for preparing young children for a life of independence and success. Children who participate in this program are on par with the regular students when they join the school. While the program started in 1965, Head Start Awareness Program Awareness Month was initiated by the President Ronald Reagan on October 22, 1982. His great words for the cause continue to inspire today. The National Head Start program has helped over 8 million low-income preschool children and their families. Head Start programs teach and nurture children in safe and healthy environments, outdoors and indoors. Head Start is a federally funded program that delivers comprehensively early learning, health, nutrition, and family support services to the children ages 3 to 5 living in poverty. Head Start uses the high scope curriculum designed upon active learning. One in 7 kids is affected by poverty, and the probability is high. The children of color are more likely than white children to experience poverty. Kids under 5 experience higher levels of poverty than other age of groups. Children in unmarried female-headed households are more likely to experience poverty. Labor market discrimination is also a leading cause. So the Head Start program provides a safe zone for children who may otherwise become victims of psychological trauma or resort or to less suitable means of earning a living. So finally, today, this month is commemorated as Health Literacy Month in US. According to the US studies, more than 40% of Americans have difficulty obtaining, processing, and understanding basic healthcare information, which is necessary for making informed decisions. Lack of healthcare literacy can seriously hamper global healthcare efforts. Each year, October is observed as Health Literacy Month. Author Helen Obsburn, who established the month in 1999, wanted to increase access to healthcare information. Several camps and workshops are organized for healthcare practitioners, discussing ways to improve health literacy worldwide. So help educate the general public about the basics of healthcare, as well as the tools can cause make more informed decisions about their health. People all around the world can benefit from this, and it impacts lives globally. It doesn't matter where you are or what language you speak. Healthcare Literacy Month advocates for free access to thousands of health education resources in up to 18 languages. When healthcare professionals communicate in an easy to understand manner, we all benefit. So with this, we end the commemorations for the day. Thank you everyone for joining us. The feedback form has been shared in the form of polls. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before you leave the platform. So thank you everyone for joining us. See you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.